I would go. I would
Yeah.
go. But there's plenty of gay clubs in
Okay,
Austin
but here's my
that
thing.
do 80s
It's
nights.
not about that. It's not. I saw a documentary about this bar, right? The DJ for 80s
Hi
night.
everyone. Oh, hi everyone. Welcome to Loser Lose Wrestling. This is the Woos and What's. Roy, continue.
Yes. Hey, happy to be here. The DJ is the same DJ that was DJing in the 80s. So he has these like crazy
Oh,
authentic,
okay.
and there's all these lasers and these like custom videos that were made in the 80s.
Okay.
You got to see. I'll show you
So
some of it. It's called
everyone,
Numbers
yeah, you got to
for all
head
our
to
Houston
Houston. You
heads.
had to hit Numbers at Houston for the most authentic 80s night you've ever been to.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the Woos and What's of AEW Dynamite.
that's it. Can I tell you real quick, and then we'll actually talk about wrestling? When I told Louis about this, our friend Louis Sanchez, he went,
Group friend.
and his eyes stuck like that for like 15 minutes. He was so excited by it.
I used to know a
Anyway,
guy that was a radio DJ in Houston in the 60s, and he met the
whoa,
Beatles and he met Chuck
whoa,
Berry because they came to
whoa.
his studio. They came to his studio. That's Chuck McCann.
Chuck McCann. Oh my God, Chuck McCann. I forgot about Chuck, but he had a beautiful
Well,
voice.
beautiful voice. Thank you all so much. I'm so sorry.
This is great. This is great.
We're
We're
doing
flying
great.
loose tonight. We're
Well,
loose
we're flying
fit
loose because we're loose fit tonight because you know what? I'm on the road. I
on the
had
road.
Uncle Paul. We all talked
Uncle
about
Paul.
Uncle Paul last
Yeah.
week, and we all have fond memories of Uncle Paul. Roy, what's your favorite memory of Uncle Paul? Can you share that with
Oh
us real quick?
yes, 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 yes. What was it? He had so many fun catchphrases. There was
You got to say
one
one. Say
to be
one catchphrase.
continued. To be
There
continued.
we go. There we
To be
go.
continued.
Sound off in the chat for your favorite Uncle Paul catchphrase.
Yes.
You can't use to be continued.
Oh,
You have
I
to use
also
something
like
else.
what was the other one? Oh, I'll save it. I'll save it. I don't know.
You
For the
save it.
chat. Oh,
Okay.
what is it? All quiet on the Western Front. Did you say that one
Dog, you're
too?
killing it right now. You're
Yeah.
killing it right
Those
now.
those two are so good.
You're doing great work.
I want
Brett
to be that.
Pendleton's in the chat. Brett
Oh,
writes, hey fellas, I'm going to the gas station real quick. Do you need anything? Do we need anything, Ron?
I don't think so. I'm gonna make some. They don't have tea. I should
Do you
have
have
had
any?
tea.
Check the gas station for any tea.
Any
Also,
tea.
if you have any more Coke Zeros,
Coke Zero.
let me know. Joe Redlitz is in the chat. LLW in stereo. What does that mean, Joe?
Love
You're gonna
it.
have to explain that, Joe. Let us know what that
What's
means.
there's a figment floating behind you. It's strange.
You gotta let us know what that means, Joe, because we don't understand. We have to talk about AEW Dynamite, Roy.
Yeah, loved the first 90 minutes. Loved
The
it.
first time, don't spoil what happened to you at the last 30 minutes. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But we have to talk about this. A show opened.
It did open.
The
You're
show
correct.
opened with
Yeah.
Brian, with Brian Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli. I wrote Cesaro
Yeah.
versus
Claudio.
Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. It was a good match.
It was a good match.
Good
Interesting
match.
finish.
Interesting finish. So we get like a really good match, and as always, like the people involved are not the issue.
Right.
And honestly, the match made sense. I'm for it on a lot of fronts. And we get the finish being Claudio Castagnoli getting Chris Jericho in the sharpshooter after giving him an airplane, the big swing with the bat in hand,
Yeah.
and then puts him in the sharpshooter holding the bat,
Yeah.
and he gets Chris Jericho to tap. What did you think about that finish?
I thought I think Chris Jericho's probably winning at the pay-per-view, and I think he's probably going to retain and then lose at Final Battle, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view on December 10th. I still have the sneaking suspicion that he's going to lose to Adam Cole. I just have the sneaking suspicion. I don't think I have no basis of understanding of, that actually happening, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's who loses? Who loses? Like, there's no one like no one can lose.
So I see what you're saying with Adam Cole. Maybe Adam Cole. But you
Baby.
know who I think might be an interesting option?
Who?
Daniel Garcia.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if Daniel Garcia is just like, you know what? You've beat all the best. Like, I would love a shot at you. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. But honestly, they went back and forth with him a little bit with the whole sports entertainer
it's
thing.
tough to do that.
I don't know.
But then it's also tough to do a Danielson Jericho main event because we've seen that 1,000 times too. Unless you do like a Danielson Jericho and Danielson's like, I'll retire if I don't win. And then it's like, well, and Tony Khan loves that shit. He loves like very obviously painting who's going to win and lose in his big matches.
Yeah, he does. And honestly, it just feels disappointing. I'm just disappointed. And honestly, him tapping just proves to me that he's behind the whole CM Punk thing. So it just proves to me that he's trying to, you know what I mean? You all know what I mean.
Yeah. Can I
Um,
say real quick? You know what a big takeaway from this match was for me? It did nothing to do with the wrestlers or the match itself necessarily, but Taz, Excalibur, and Tony are having the time of their lives. Like no one's telling them what to say. They're all just goofing
you don't have to
around.
babysit Jim Ross.
Yeah, there was something that was so funny where I think it was like halfway through the match, Taz was like, "Well, I was waiting for one of you guys to ask me about what strategy would be going into Sunday, but looks like no one's gonna ask me, so I guess I'll just say it." He said something too, where like, "Oh, you play-by-play guys are going after me here. Get out of my way. Talk."
I love it. And I love,
Yeah.
honestly, I think Tony Schiavone gets a real kick out of those
Yeah.
two talking, actually doing announcing. And he's just like, you guys are really on it.
Yeah. He, a long time ago, Tony would tell stories on his podcast about how he was giving Taz a hard time backstage, but like in a way that's like very like chummy and sweet, where like Taz doesn't like to be center of the attention, doesn't want anything. So like in production meetings, Tony would make sure that Taz sat at the head of the table, and he'd be like, "What is it? I'm not. Hey, I'm just part of the. I don't need to say any special treatment here. Who did this? Who did this?" And him and Tony would like yell at each other.
That's a very funny bit. That's actually really funny. I like Tony. I like Tony a lot. There's some comments here. Turbs is letting us know that I'll grab some green tea and Coke Zero for you all. Indiana covered in snow might be a longer trip than anticipated.
Wow.
Indiana covered. Oh, so Indiana, where he lives,
Turbs is in
covered
Indiana,
in snow.
and
it might be a longer trip than anticipated, and that makes sense.
That makes
sense. It hasn't snowed in New Jersey.
Good. When are you making the trek back?
Saturday.
Oh wow.
I just miss having a car and having my own bed. And having but even though I'm having a great time at this stranger's house, I'm staying with a stranger and their 3 kids and their wife. And a lot of people don't know about this, but I do hang out my strangers' houses that I hang out with.
You love a stranger's house.
Yeah. Woodsy says Claudio should have spun Jericho in the sharpshooter 0 out of 10 match. Woodsy the Beast hated this match. Woodsy the Beast is in the chat.
Woodsy, good to see you.
Did you do a
good
sound
to hear
effect
from you? This is a good one.
That's good. That's comedy.
You just call on the sound effect. I'm here. I'm Michael Winslow.
You're good. Oh my God. Joe Wright. Joe's in the chat. Joe's
here.
Joe writes, and Tony doesn't stand for too soon Jay Leno jokes. We'll get to that.
Yes.
We'll get to that, Joe.
Right.
No spoilers. And Joe writes, stranger danger, Red. Yeah, I know I shouldn't be hanging out at strangers' houses. And I know the kids shouldn't be talking to a stranger when I'm living in the house.
Yeah, but Red's tank, though. You'll make it. You'll be safe. You'll be okay. You're a tank. Yeah, you can hang out with strangers.
I'll beat the shit out
Cousin
of these
Boo.
Kids. Yeah, cousin. I will beat the shit out of these kids if they prompt me. No, I won't.
What time's your flight on Saturday?
I won't.
Are you gonna miss Full Gear?
Full Gear. No.
Which is
I might miss Full Gear.
Well, it's funny because the weekly wrestle has been moved from Saturday to Sunday,
which is perfect.
So this Sunday is going to be our first ever weekly wrestle pay-per-view review show, because we're going to do a Full Gear review.
We're going to do a Full Gear. I will watch that night. No worries. No worries, fam. I'm there for you.
I was worried.
No, stop, Roy.
I saw someone in the wild. Yeah, I saw someone in the wild on Monday, and I told him, "Hey, you got to come watch Full Gear." I saw Uncle Moet in the wild.
And?
We were both at the Clerks 3 screening at the Paramount. And he was like, it's really funny. Just to give you an idea of where Uncle Moet's at in AEW land right now. He said, normally I like to watch the shows by myself and really pay attention and think about it. But I really don't care about any of these matches.
Yes.
So he might come watch Full Gear with us.
And he might sneak into a show one of these days. We have to force him. But we have to keep talking about the show.
We got to keep rolling.
Because we get a Moxley and MJF promo just hyping up the match on Saturday, and also the speaking engagement later tonight, which we will talk about. I don't want to give spoilers to that, but I have strong opinions.
I saw,
And I know you do too.
well, I
I
saw
know
the
you have
end.
strong, full depth
Yeah.
opinions about
I
it, but
was
we'll get
really
to it.
locked into the last like 2 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about why. No spoilers, Roy.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Next up, we get a Darby Allin video.
Love it.
Want to what?
I'm
Mow
the
it? Mow
only
it?
person in the country that likes the Darby Allin videos.
Well, no, you're not. Uncle Moet liked this one too, because
How do you
Uncle
know?
Moet texted me and
Yes.
said, finally, Darby Allin's making a good video.
Yes.
And apparently, I bet he thinks that this is a well shot, well thought video. But honestly, it makes no sense. I still think it makes no sense. Even though it makes no sense, it was beautiful to watch.
The way this made sense to me, the way I had it make sense to me was that Sting's been gone for a while. And Sting's just been gone for, he's been gone for a month or two.
He's been in the desert.
And he's just driving around the country and with his top down, wind blowing through his hair, and now he's got to pick up Darby in his body bag, and he's got to get to Newark. It's time.
That makes sense. He has to get to Newark from the desert.
From the desert. Hey,
as we all
come full
do.
gear, it's showtime. Okay, it's showtime.
Honestly, now that you put it like, actually, I didn't even think of that. He said that, right?
Yeah.
He said come full gear. So okay, so we know Showtime is going to be this Saturday.
Showtime is going to be this Saturday at full gear.
I am excited for that match, though.
I'm fucking hyped for Double J and Sting to lock horns once again.
I may sound like an asshole for saying this, but that's the match I'm looking most forward to.
Hey, it's been 16 years since they've locked horns last.
I just want to see, honestly, I just want to see Jeff Jarrett versus Darby Allin.
Sure. Yeah.
I just want to see that.
Yeah.
That's my main thing in my brain. I do not care about Jay Lethal anymore.
Yeah, but it's like the four-way, you know. I don't care about Sammy Guevara, but I care about the other three. I care about Sting, Darby Allin, and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, but we have another match coming up, Roy. We have another match coming up. Anthony Bowens versus Swerve.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So we get Anthony Bowens versus Swerve. By the way, we get the dropping of Acclaim's new music video.
How did you feel about this?
With Captain Insano video?
Yeah.
I am fine. So the video has Big Show's Captain Insano, and they just basically bury Keith Lee and Swerve. I don't like fat jokes. I don't mind fat jokes when they're tastefully done, but like, don't just call Keith Lee fat. You can make fun of him for a lot of things.
Yeah.
You can have that guy playing for him, but like just doing that, it takes away a little bit from Keith Lee, I think. It's cheap. And having Swerve come out and not say anything about it, makes Swerve look like shit.
Also, yeah, stupid. I really like the first like 45 seconds of the video because I think it's really funny and something that isn't so cheap to make fun of the way Keith Lee speaks. Like, I think that's funny. So him
make fun of that
on the phone, calling Captain Insano and speaking the way he speaks, funny. After that, you kind of lose me. I don't really
honestly
care.
I didn't get it was them until we saw them. They put Sneaky Swerve and Keith Lee. Until they put that, I didn't even realize it was them. I thought it was just two dudes calling up Captain Insano, which is understandable. And honestly, Big Show still laughs the same way, and it's good.
It's good.
And it's fucking good.
It's good.
We have some comments in the chat. Joe writes, Darby just hangs out on the side of the road in a body bag waiting for his daddy to pick him up. Joe writes, who put him there? Or does he have a quirky death fetish? What do you think he has a quirky death fetish?
I think he's like a little kid whose parent forgot to pick him up after soccer practice, so he's just been on the side of the road for days waiting for Sting to show up.
Squirrel.
Good
job,
that squirrel off my dick.
Get that squirrel off my dick. How'd I get that squirrel on my dick? I have to stop screaming because their kids asleep. Is the door closed? I hope it is. Next up, we get a Jade and Nyla promo, Roy.
Yes.
A Jade and Nyla promo. Honestly, I'm excited for the match.
Sure.
Because it's the first legitimate threat Nyla has had. Oh no, Jade has had.
Yeah. Right? I'm trying not to think too hard about the fact that I think they've already wrestled each other. I'm just gonna pretend like they haven't, even if
I'm gonna pretend they haven't.
And yes, I'm excited for this match. I'm excited. AEW, for all of their lack of women's content, always pulls out 2 to 3 to even sometimes 4 women's matches on the pay-per-view.
I
So
think
I'm
they just
excited.
heard that the doors closed. I just heard it closed. But I'm
Who's
excited
this
for it too.
stranger in our house talking about a squirrel
Obviously, I
on
have a
his
problem
dick?
with me a screaming squirrel on my dick. With their 2-year-old and 4-year-old twins upstairs.
Wow,
I
4 years old.
two 4-year-old twins and then a 2-year-old, and
Wow.
I Jasoff, my brother Jasoff, we were hanging out together here, and I picked him up in a wrestling like maneuver. I picked up him in like a pile
Jasoff.
driver, picked up Jasoff in a pile driver just to show, oh, I could pick him upside down. And they started immediately picking each other up upside down. And then
Oh,
the mom was just like,
yes.
stop, stop doing this. I put the chair on my chin, and immediately the kid
Oh,
just like,
I love it. I
not good. Not good. Woodsy the Beast says something, but then message retracted.
Oh, Woodsy.
Then Woodsy the Beast says
Woodsy.
only Steiner can make fat jokes. Actually,
Only
that's fair.
Steiner. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Steiners
Okay.
are the only ones that are allowed to make fat jokes
Yeah.
because it's almost expected. And say,
Yeah.
fat boy.
Yeah. Well, Ric Flair
Um,
too. What are you laughing at, fat boy?
oh, Ric Flair's disgusting. We
He's
get
just a-
Tony Schiavone, Roy, with Samoa Joe in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying. I'm just okay. Yeah. Yeah.
are you get picturing the
No,
image of what's
I,
going on?
I was thinking about I'm sorry. Last night I was falling asleep watching a 1997 episode of Raw,
Yeah.
and it was right after Shawn Michaels had turned heel after he hit Undertaker with the steel chair at SummerSlam, and the crowd is chanting Shawn is gay at Shawn, and he stops the promo, looks at the crowd and looks at this kid in the front row and says, "Why don't you ask your sister and your mama how gay Shawn is?" And that's what was in my head. Sorry. So
Get the
Smojo's
spell off
there. Bonk.
Wrong. So we get Tony Schiavone with thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah, we're off the rails tonight.
We're off the rails. We have Tony
I just
Schiavone
woke
with
up.
Samoa Joe.
Yes. Yeah. This was interesting to me because I thought Joe did a really good job, but I
Yeah.
had no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
So Tony Schiavone is just like, hey, why'd you do the thing you did last week? And basically what he was trying to say is he's like, he's coming for everyone's championship. And he said that in front of me. He's like, did he forget the threat that I am?
Yeah.
You know, did he just like forget who I am? He's failed to recognize how dangerous I am. And Samoa Joe, he's like, I had to save myself or something along those lines. Then Powerhouse Hobbs comes out.
Yeah.
And Powerhouse comes and says that Samoa Joe, you're a little late because I've already been beating the poop out of Wardlow.
Yeah, right.
And he's late to the party. And then they're about to fight. And then Wardlow's music hits, and everyone just stares at the crowd because they know he's going to come from the crowd.
Right, of course.
That?
And Joe kept kind of like seeing
signal,
like,
because honestly, like why? And because like he saw the crowd react that way.
Yeah.
The camera shot that way, which is dumb. And it's also like you do it so often, everyone's expecting it now.
Right. Right.
Everyone comes from the crowd.
Yeah.
Once an episode, besides Jon Moxley, someone comes from the crowd.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I don't like the booking of the end of this segment specifically. Like, I don't mind Wardlow doing that stupid dive and Wardlow standing strong, but like, give me a close up of Joe's face looking pissed, or a close up of a Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, give me something for them to re-get like a little bit of their heat. But instead, it's just like Wardlow looking like $1 million, which is like, I guess, good, but like, come on, these guys got to look like viable challengers.
Why send Dark Order out there if you're not going to beat them up? Why send them out there so that they could like make Wardlow look weak and also look like idiots? It's like it's confusing when everyone's coming out. Like, why were you coming out there in the first place if you weren't prepared to get physical? You know, like, are you that afraid? Dark Order looks weak. Wardlow looks weak. Everyone looks weak.
Yeah, Dark Order looking weak, I'm fine with. But
like,
also, I'm fine with Wardlow looking weak too. I mean, Wardlow just looks like kind of like a good guy. Like, I realized that Wardlow has no edge. Wardlow looks like the type of guy who's in like middle school or high school who always talks about getting in fights, but never gets in fights.
Oh, you have sex with all girls.
Yeah.
Sex with all their vaginas every day.
Yeah. Right.
All day.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, well, who
you ever punch someone in the face and it's like, You just broke their skull.
Yeah, like, oh, if that guy
feeling?
cut me in line at the cafeteria, if like we weren't in the cafeteria, I would have broken his skull. All
Oh my
right.
god! I just like palm thrust his eyes, or
And
he
he's
just
talking
like
to
wow.
like fucking Nelson Muntz, like he's talking to Samoa Joe, like the gnarliest dude on the planet. And he's like, I've done jail time. Like,
Uh,
come on.
that's honestly like I wish they went with that angle to it, but they won't. We have some comments here. Joe writes, the strangers are more concerned with the body bag references. Uncle Red needs to go. What? The strangers are more concerned with the body bag reference. Fair. Fair, Joe. Wizzy B says, Uncle Red needs to go. Wizard B says, you say Flair disgusting, but that video before his last match with him being beaten down by Lethal and Jarrett had you sold. Hold on.
It had me sold. I don't think it had Red sold.
Jarrett had me sold.
Yeah.
And had Roy sold.
Brett I was 100% sold. Still haven't watched the match.
Brett Pendleton writes, oh, hell yeah. Welcome back, Brett. Hassan's in the chat.
Hassan, it's about time. Was JD
Roy,
from New York running long, huh?
Roy, could you give a sound effect?
Oh, hello.
Very good. Very good. Hassan
right.
writes, hi there, guys. How was your Veterans Day weekend? What did you do for Veterans Day? How'd you celebrate, Roy?
I have no idea. What did I do Friday night? I don't remember. What did I do? I'll think about it. I hung out. It was raining here. It was raining, so I hung out with my dog.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I went to New Jersey for a funeral, Hassan. Thanks for bringing it up. Joe writes, I love you, Hassan. I love you. Joe writes, we had a guy like Wardlow in high school. He became 12-pack on VH1 show. True story. I love New York.
Whoa, 12-pack. Yeah,
do you remember 12-pack?
I remember.
He was my
12-pack.
wrestling coach.
And he
wasn't. Did you not remember that? Did you not?
I don't. I've there's some things that slip through the cracks, and that's one of them.
12-pack from New York was in Joe Redless's class, I guess. I don't know. But he was also the wrestling coach for my high school, and I broke his seat on his shitty car.
Why'd you break his seat?
Because his door didn't work and it was a 2-seater. So I had to crawl over to the front seat and my foot went right through the seat of his driver's seat. My foot went right through when I stepped on his seat.
You think
like,
VH1
just got that upholstered.
I just got that upholstered.
Turby says, hey guys, I'm back from the gas station. They didn't have any more tea or Coke Zero. But they did have 2 cans of whoop butt, and I got them for you guys. Jesus Christmas. What did I do wrong? And then Turbs writes, I sent that once with the A word instead of the butt. The comment filter got rid of it. Oh man, that comment filter.
We keep it clean in the comments. We keep it clean.
It's run amok. Joe writes, any spindrift, Brett?
Spindrift. Have you ever had Spindrift? It's like a fancy seltzer.
Is that the oh no, that's actually I had Spindrift today. I think I had Spindrift today, actually.
Oh yeah, was it good?
I'm
not a big Spindrift person. Too fruity. Don't mix my seltzer with fruit. It's like someone took fruit juice and carbonated it. It's too much for me. You like it? Love that.
Yeah. Hassan writes, I did enjoy to watch a little parade on my social media on YouTube.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. You got to enjoy that.
Yes.
Send us the pics. Brett says, no, Joe, it's not that bad out. Was just bad enough. I had to sit and defrost the car for a few minutes.
Oh.
I think spindrift might also mean some sort of car accident. I think it's hydroplaning, Brett. Jeez, come on.
God, Brett.
Next, we got Britt Baker, Roy.
This was good.
We have Britt Baker just giving a real heartfelt promo, a really good one, just talking about how wrestling has moved on, Soraya. Yeah. Soraya, wrestling has moved on, and we can't sit still or remember your history. This is the new time, and this is my time, and it's her house. Did you know that it's her house? Everyone's talking about their houses. It's her house, though.
I would say this is Britt Baker's house. Yes, the women's division is Britt Baker's.
The women's division is Britt Baker's, and Soraya needs to get used to it. Next up, I want to hear something really upsetting, Ryan.
Yes.
Top Flight is back together.
Hey!
That's not the upsetting part, Roy. It's Top Flight is back together, and they're in a trios match with someone I never met before.
AR Fox. You don't know AR Fox?
Has he ever been on AEW television?
I gotta go.
Has he ever been on AEW television?
Never on. He's been on Dark a bunch of times, but
I
you know
will
who
say
AR
this
Fox
though.
is, though. You know who that is.
I honestly I like him. I like who he is. I like his style. I like his look. He looks kind of like a GI Jimi Hendrix.
You know who he
like
is.
kind of
Have
like
you?
a.
You've never. You know AR Fox.
I haven't met him.
He was Dante Fox in Lucha Underground, and he feuded with Killshot, aka Swerve. He also has wrestled all over the indies forever. He was in Evolve. He trained Austin Theory, among other wrestlers in Atlanta. He's a very long time. There's also a funny story
Crazy.
that he is the most ferocious whatever. Never mind.
So, but he has a career
Yeah.
record on AEW television of 0-0, and he's with Top Flight in their return match after
Yeah.
Darius has been, because I haven't heard about them returning. I just found out
either
on this episode.
I was a little upset about this, and I will say at least Excalibur does say that this is their return match, and Darius had a car accident and he was in trouble, and they at least talk about it.
Wouldn't it be nice to treat them like a top tag team that we've been waiting to see for a while?
Isn't it so funny?
And then put them in a title match for the trios championship.
Yeah.
Can we just get rid of the rankings if they're gonna bullshit them so much like this?
I will
What's
say,
the point? Even I think Joe Redlitz in the chat may have said while watching the show tonight, I don't know, we weren't together, but may have said that why do we have rankings anymore?
I think the rankings are actually a big stumbling block for the company, because they want to have these rankings, and like 90% of the time they want to try to make sense of everything using the rankings, but the rankings actually ruin everything, and nothing is surprising, because in order for someone to challenge for a normal title, not the 6-man, in order for someone to challenge for a title, they need to like be in the rankings. So there's no like surprises. There's no like.
I love you say normal title, and when you really just mean the fake title.
Well, I just mean like heavyweight title, for example. Like there always has to be an eliminator. Or there always has to be a tournament. There always has to be something,
and
rather than just like
fake.
Well, it's not that it's well, I mean, what's the ranking system for? There aren't enough 6-man established 6-mans for it. So there shouldn't be rankings. Almost it's too fucking complicated. It's really fucking annoying. There should be a division. The 6-man belts, I'm really into it. And this was a fucking good match. This is exactly what the 6-man match. This is what the trios title should be. And I gotta tell you, really, like real talk, Tony Khan, TK, my guy Tony, where are you? Where you been? Boom, where you at?
Where Tony?
Don't fuck up Top Flight. They're so good. They're so fun to watch. They move so well. They look great together. They're brothers. It's great. Don't fuck them up. You have 3 young up-and-coming tag teams in your company. One you've already completely fucked up, Private Party. One you've done a great job with, the Acclaimed, and now you got your choice with Top Flight. Now that they're healthy, you got to build them up.
Honestly, I don't understand. Well, I do understand. It's because they don't have the confidence to say this to Tony Khan that they claim to, or that the MJF.
They don't have the gimmick either. Like they're just great wrestlers, and they're loved. They will be loved. Based on what I heard, and now maybe I didn't hear well. I didn't hear a very big reaction for Top Flight's return, which is quite the shame, because remember when Darius returned the first time before he got in that accident at Daly's place? Huge reaction, big return, great moment. And you were hoping that they'd do something like that again. And look, ultimately it was fun because they got time to shine and they looked really good and they did some amazing double team stuff that was so cool. But yeah, there wasn't it was unceremonious, if you will.
I agree. I do agree. We have a lot of comments here. We have to get through this. We get a lot talking about Spindrift. We have Brett says, wait, a Spindrift a drink, or are you asking about winter road conditions? Lol. And then Redley 697's in the chat.
Oh, interesting.
How's your thumb, Red?
What's wrong with your thumb? Are you okay?
Didn't
Redley 697 hurt your thumb like a while ago?
No, I don't know who Redley 697 is, but on 2Q Brothers, a show I do with my brother. We played a game of musical chair. Where we fought over who sat in the chair. We had a physical altercation that I won, and then with this envious rage, they pushed me off the chair onto the floor, damaging my thumb. My thumb's finicky. Thanks, Redley697. Joe writes, Spindrift is Punk's drink of choice. Cons too. He was more concerned with getting one than Punk tanking his company live in front of him.
Oh, brutal, Joe.
Joe, that's brutal. Turbs writes, this Britt Baker promo was pretty awful compared to last week's Saraya promo. I thought it was good. It was a retaliation.
It was weird. It was a little weird because it was like, it wasn't quite as sassy and it was a little more serious than maybe we're used to seeing. But it was good. I liked that.
It doesn't have to be 20 minutes, but I hear what you're saying, Brett. I'm not going to deny it. Brooklyn Bleak's in the chat.
Hey.
Yo, Bleak.
Hello.
Yo, Bleak. Hello. Roy's doing all the sound effects today. Give Roy a honk honk, by the way. Honk honk. Brooklyn Lee says Swerve would agree it's his house.
Yes.
It is his house.
Yes. Whose house?
Brett house. Writes, AR Fox is an AEW Dark legend.
Not untrue. Not untrue.
Cool. AEW Dark legend. That's great. Just like the XPW Hall of Fame, just like great accolades.
The XPW Hall of Fame.
Isn't that a bullshit promotion? I'm trying to think of a bullshit.
GCW Hall of Fame.
No, the bullshit one that just started back up.
XPW. Yeah, that's a company.
Then why are you taking it away from me?
Well, they didn't have a Hall of Fame. Do they have a Hall of Fame?
I'm trying to make a joke that it doesn't matter. It's like a nonsense thing. You're calling the dark. Like, come on now.
Well, you think all Hall of Fames are bullshit? So
I do. Brett writes, he rocks pretty hard. Very fun wrestler. I like him though. He did a good job.
One too many cutters, in my opinion, but
he did.
That's me being nitpicky.
Let's see. Hassan writes, and on yesterday, I did enjoy the documentary on Full Gear movie and 8 matches on AEW Dark. Did they have a documentary?
They have whatever.
Getting ready, yeah.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Bleak says, nah, AR Fox just beat Serpentico on Dark. Put some respect on his name.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'll put some respect on his name. Brett writes, HOB, House of Black, not even being mentioned, is another slap in the face of this monster heel faction that is supposed to be coming back stronger than ever. House of Black should retaliate with that attitude. I do not care about House of Black. They're bringing back already dead gimmick. The gimmick's dead. No one liked it the first time. They didn't get it over. Bringing it back just makes it look worse.
They're gonna bury the Elite on Saturday. Physically bury them in the dirt.
Okay, that's probably what they're doing. That's what they're doing, Brett. Brooklyn Bleak bonk. Blank. Brooklyn Bleak says, it seems like the champs can grant matches like Mox versus Takeshita or Hangman versus Dante. If so, there was a respect match between Dante and Phoenix. What? Seems like the champs can grant matches like Mox versus Takeshita.
So the champion can, if they so choose, disregard the rankings and just say like, hey, Takeshita, I'm John Moxley. I want to wrestle you. I don't care about the rankings. Let's go. So then maybe that's what happened. And because Phoenix fought Dante Martin, Phoenix was like, I'll get the other 2 parts of my triangle. You get 2 parts of your triangle.
Feels stupid. Joe writes, I guess we shouldn't care about the ranking system when everybody has a belt now. Can somebody please share a title count? I'm betting it's 1 title to every 5 wrestlers at this point. That's
a big roster.
No, it's a big roster. I will say it's 1 title for every 5 wrestlers shown.
That's not untrue.
That's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Blake says, doesn't it give it attention to wrestlers that everybody would be complaining doesn't get any attention? Plus, for now, 2 companies' titles are being used, promoted.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, right? Like, things will feel less crowded when Ring of Honor's titles are no longer showing up on AEW programming.
Brett's getting mad at me right now. Brett says, I liked it, Red. But what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? The Britt Baker promo?
Did you like it? Because it sounded like you didn't. It sounded like you were trying to. Britt Baker promo was pretty awful compared to last week's Saraya promo. You want to? I'm not going to say. Here comes the dark, shadowy figure. Hassan says Yahoo for AEW. This is Hassan, by the way.
Yes.
Yahoo for AEW Dark and Full Gear. I'm ready for Impact Wrestling tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. Impact is tomorrow.
Impact is tomorrow night.
I'm excited Friday. For it. Oh, well, yes, but then they have a show Friday night too. Hey, Turbs. If I had the soundboard, you know what I'd hit? Why are you yelling at me?
Why are you yelling at me?
Why are you yelling at me?
That's good. That's good. Brett writes, I will not stand for Roy making fun of the haunted house faction while he defends the stupid Cowboys whose finisher is a flippy dippy over the top into a total halt into a clothesline. He sucks, Roy.
Brett, why are you yelling at me? I
Why are you
wasn't
yelling at
defending
me?
them. I wasn't defending. I was not burying or making fun of House of Black. I was supporting House of Black. Red was burying House of Black.
Chill, Daddy, chill.
Yeah. Daddy, chill.
Chatty, chill. Redley697 says, and this is a quote from you, Roy. That's not untrue. Roy 2023.
I'm running for mayor.
Run for mayor. Let's go. Troy Fusilier Jr. is in the chat.
Troy.
Long time no smell.
Long time no smell.
Writes, yo.
Yo. I got cake in my ear. R.I.P. Don Vito.
Terb says this is my heel turn. I need nuclear Roy heat every week. Okay.
Terms has been slowly turning heel for weeks. Ever since. So Terms' whole storyline, his arc is that he got the LLW tattoo. It doesn't feel like we've given him enough acknowledgement or respect, so he's slowly turning heel on us.
Is he taking over?
He's taking over very slowly.
If Terms takes over LLW, I'll flip my lid.
Yeah, I'll flip my lid too.
We'll flip it around to the face from forward.
Yeah.
But we have right after that match, Roy. Right after that match, the trios match, Pac gets on. This is the stupidest thing. Pac gets on the mic. Job. He did. Pac gets on the mic and says, "Death Triangle is stupid.
Yeah,
not aware of the videos. And if the triumphant return is real, that's ridiculous." And he basically goes on to say, like, we're prepared, we're ready. I love Pac, but honestly, he's held back by Death Triangle.
Yeah, well, thank God it's ending soon.
Maybe. But then the clock is ticking, and so after he says, like, it's ridiculous and whatever, and they say muertos de angular, and they say that, and then they show it, and then they show that's the one, and then they show the graphic of Death Triangle versus Mystery, and then it just appears Elite. The crowd pops, and they go back to the ring,
not good,
to show Pac just be like, "Oh, you admitted that. You admitted that." He's
like, well, he said, I liked his last line.
Perfect transparency. We'll be waiting.
Something like that. I thought it was good. I don't think you should go back to them. I think that's weird. Just like the order of events with the music video earlier in the show, also not good. But yeah, I'm excited. I didn't think they did a good job of making the match feel big and important. I also realized this match has never happened before, and it's really exciting. And Kenny and Pac have a long history together in AEW of excellent matches, but they haven't touched in a long time. And obviously the Elite and the Lucha Brothers also. I can't, how can you be bored by this match? It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
Because these fucking videos, these videos are going nowhere.
They're over. The videos are going somewhere. They're going to the Elite coming back, which is happening on Saturday.
These videos of them erasing them were pointless because we're not getting anything about that story. They're just expecting us to know what's going on, and they're never going to pay it forward. It's just moving on. So the thing is, it's so upsetting that they're giving us this bullshit of like, we're going to get a really cool, interesting storyline with whatever's going on. But like, no, they're just going to go win the championships and they're back in the company. Cool. Nothing about the whole deletion thing. It's just a way of bringing them back.
Maybe not.
I hate it.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I hate it. I hate it. Brett says, sorry guys, I need to eat the Snickers I got at the gas station. Honestly, he needed a Snickers break. Yeah. You're starting to act a little MJF. You need a Snickers. Turbs, you need a Snickers.
Turbs just needed a Snickers. Turbs isn't turning heel. He just needed a Snickers.
He just needed a Snickers, and I get that. Let us know when you're back because we miss our old Turbs. Brett says, oh yeah, Brooklyn Bleak says, but the WWE influencer that had a title match 3 matches in the company uses it now, and some people actually says he does it better. But the WWE influencer, talking about the Kill Switch.
Oh, the
is that what it's called? What is it called? Not the Kill Switch.
No, what
Cleveland Hangover? What is it? The
Cleveland
Virginia
Hangover.
Doomsday?
No, stop.
The lovers are from
The
Richmond,
the buckshot lariat,
buckshot lariat. That's the one. Not Cleveland is for lovers.
not the Cleveland steamer.
Not the Cleveland steamer. But honestly, Logan Paul, the one time he's ever done it, which is honestly 100%.
He did a good job.
Success rate, where Hangman Page has like a 75%.
He like blew out his knee doing it, but
hey, that's commitment. Troy Fusilier says Snickers are overrated, in my opinion.
Woo, Troy. You know, I don't disagree with that. Just give me.
I think all candies overrated.
You give me a Reese's that's been in the fridge for a couple hours. Give me a cold Reese's.
Give me some soggy cinnamon toast crunch, and you got me.
There you go.
That's what I want. This is we got Joe writes, running for mayor of Knox County. Heard they have some furry leadership. Furry? Is that a
I love that rumor. Spread that rumor that honestly, Glenn Jacobs is furry.
Glenn Jacobs has like a fox tail in his butt. You know, the butt plug that has a fox tail, and he's just walking around with that all day. I bet he does. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
We all know, right?
Yeah. There's just this weird furry bulge in the back of his pants. Nobody knows what it is. And they're like, we can't figure out what's going on there.
Honestly, in some old matches with Mark Henry in 2010, you could see it peek out of his drawers. Just like a little furry thing. And you're like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Turb says this is the LLW invasion angle, him taking over. But you had your Snickers. Tell us how you feel. Hassan writes, Overdriving is on Friday night. Overdriving.
Oh, yes. Impact Overdrive. Friday night.
Okay, Overdrive's over Friday night. And SmackDown World Cup continue. AEW Rampage on AEW and Disturbed new album coming out on Friday. Thanks for the updates, Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan, you like Disturbed? That's interesting.
Oh, we talked about it last time.
Oh, yes, I thought so.
Hassan's been promoting Disturbed for a while right now, and we're here for you, Hassan. Let us know when it comes out and what you think of it.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Bleak says, looking forward to that Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich rematch coming up on Friday. The first one was up there out of the stuff of the year so far. Yeah. I have not seen it, but actually I'm very no, I did see that.
Did you?
I think so.
Maybe
Slamovich. Maybe. I have to rewatch.
Yeah, she's cool. She's cool.
Good point, Brooklyn Bleak. Brooklyn Bleak then writes, wow, we have a lot of comments. Brooklyn Bleak says the trios title match is what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
I'm curious. Okay. Rudley697 says, funny how Vince is getting away with it, and y'all not talking about it make y'all a part of the problem. You're right.
Whoa.
We should be bringing up Vince getting away with it each show. Yeah. Vince is getting away with it if we're not careful, guys. We have to go after Vince. Yeah. Thank you for keeping us honest.
Appreciate it, Rudley697.
Thank you.
Where's Rudley697 right now?
Oh, who knows?
Yeah. Traveling the world.
Let us know, Rudley697. Joe Redlitz writes, AW where the possibility for storyline vanishes.
Oh, not always.
Yeah. Then Troy writes, Roy is dying, lol. Probably from the furry butt.
Yeah.
Just imagining Kane like shaking his butt like a fox.
Yeah. And he's doing that for all the boys in the locker room to entertain them.
Yeah. Just like, and everyone's just like,
Taker's like, pretty good.
Like slapping his leg, drinking Jack. Kane goes to wrestler's court and he has to do that for 30 seconds straight. That's his ruling. Brett says, if Hangman didn't do the buckshot lariat, I would like him. The move makes him entirely hateable for me. Interesting. Are there any moves? Are there any wrestlers that you've known that you've hated them because of a move they did?
Every move Sammy Guevara does, I hate. And it's not because Sammy does them. Sammy does them, so I hate him. But the moves themselves feel stolen from other wrestlers, so I really hate that.
You know what I hated? The stroke. I hated Jeff Jarrett's stroke.
Sure, of course.
I hated more the stroke when the Miz does it. I hate it more when the Miz does it.
I hated it because it was basically a reverse flatliner, and I think the flatliner is a great move.
Flatliner is a great move
all the way.
Brooklyn Bleak says Snickers ice cream bars? ? I've never had. Hassan writes, I did enjoy UFC last weekend and Floyd Mayweather on UFC on Sunday night on UFC on Fight. I didn't know Floyd Mayweather was on UFC. That's cool.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
know
know,
Mike.
Ray?
I just knew Mike Tyson was there.
Oh, interesting. Troy writes, the only candy that I really enjoy are the Kit Kats.
Oh, you're
I've
a
never,
Kit Kat.
I don't think I've ever had a Kit
Kit
Kat.
Kat person. You know, there's a very famous tennis player, Roger Federer, and he would win all these tournaments. And when you win, they would, like, people who run the tournament say you can have whatever you want when you win. And all he wanted was a room full of Kit Kats, and that's what
A
he got.
room?
He just got stacks and stacks of Kit Kats.
Jesus Christ. Hassan writes, I will be download on Disturbed new album on Friday on my MP3 player. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dog. Let us know what your favorite song is when you find it.
Yes.
Rudley697 says, I'm in the waiting room for a consultation from Vince's paralegal. That's why he's asking about that. I don't understand, but you got to let us know more. Joe writes, to clarify, I meant fiery, but since furry is over. Oh, furry's definitely over.
Yeah,
furry's definitely
over with this crowd.
You've already started a rumor, and we're here for it.
Yeah.
Because Roy, did you know that Glenn Jacobs sticks furry things up his butt? Did you hear that?
I heard that. Yes. I actually called the Knox County Register to see if this was true, and the person who answered said what, which means yes. So
yeah, and honestly, I saw this video of him online, completely naked, tugging at his tail, going meow. I saw that video. I don't know if it's real. We have to check it out. Someone let us know. Troy writes, Sammy is gold.
Troy.
Yeah. Come on, Troy.
You mean Sammy Callahan? Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn is gold.
I'm trying to think of a joke, but I couldn't think of one. Sammy is fold. I don't know. Joe writes, Sammy likes golden showers. Ask Kane. You heard about that with Kane too?
Joe.
No, I heard about that because there's another video. I don't know if you heard about this, Roy.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's another video of Kane shoving a parking code up his butt and peeing on a bunch of young boys.
Like young boys is in like wrestlers.
His wrestlers, yes, his wrestlers, yes. And he's peeing on them, but they all sign consensuality, so it's all legal. But just like it's weird,
it's a little strange.
There's an authority issue there.
Yeah,
you know?
Even
if you signed like a waiver saying you're allowing Glenn Jacobs to shove a parking cone up his butt and pee on you, like that's still like a little bit shady when you're teaching.
It's a little weird. It's
when you're a teacher.
Yeah. There's going to be some preferential treatment inevitably. There's no way.
That's interesting. But spread, let everyone allegedly.
We're not saying this is factual.
Allegedly, we all saw the video though, but like allegedly. Brooklyn Bleak says Edge and Batista's spears made me so irate. Just always looks so weak. I'm tired of spears, destroyers, cutters in general. They're the new DDT overuse. Petey Williams made it special. I'm not mad at that.
That's not untrue. I will say in defense of the cutter or in defense of the destroyer, I do like it when it feels natural, which is like almost very, very hard to do, but like Penta's good at it as like a reversal. Like
when it's a reversal, I'm cool with it.
As a move on its own, it's like what are you doing?
It should be few and far between. Yeah. Hassan writes, I like Hey You and Unstoppable on the Disturbed new album. Hey You and Unstoppable. Okay, hey, everyone check out Disturbed's new album while you watch the new Kane videos and put on Unstoppable and Disturbed new album. And honestly, they match up well with those videos.
It's true.
If you play them backwards, you could actually hear King grunt. Joe writes, we have to stop the Kane talk. Members of the family that live down there love him. Oh, that's true. I don't know how Joe wrote this, but at the funeral, we have some family members in Knox County that have a picture with Mayor Kane. They have a picture with Mayor Kane.
And they like Mayor Kane. They think he's a good mayor.
They think he's a good mayor, but he was very keen on not saying. I think he was trying to be, because there's ears around, I don't think he was very, very careful, like, good mayor of the town. And he didn't say like I agree with it, So I'm gonna hold out.
When there are ears around, you mean the family member was careful to say certain things.
Careful to say. That's what my take is. Troy writes, Sami Zayn, yes. Sami Zayn, yes.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, yes, always.
Sami Zayn, yes.
All the time.
Brooklyn Bleak says, oh, Rain Spear too. I like Rain Spear.
Rain Spear is better than Edge's spear.
I hate Edge's spear.
Yeah, so do I. I have to go back and watch
Goldberg's
Batista's
spear is
spear.
amazing.
Goldberg's spear is amazing because it was legitimately dangerous.
Yeah. Actually, that's the only move I want him to do because that no one's gotten injured from that one, even though it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
Joe writes, where was Vince when this Kane comes story happened? I didn't say anything about coming. Kane
Whoa.
never comes. All
Yeah,
right.
no.
Kane has
Edgelord.
never beyond that, he's an edge master.
Yeah.
And now he's Edge Christ. And how do I get in on that settlement? You have to be a member of the Glenn Jacobs School within the years 2019 to 2021 when the incidents occurred. But hey, you didn't hear from me allegedly. Joe writes cone story. Then he corrects it, come story. But like honestly, we thank you for correcting it. It's cone story because he has never come. We never said that. Yeah. Hassan writes, I will try, guys. Thanks, Hassan.
Thanks, Hassan. That's all we're looking for.
Brett says Rhino's gore is the definitive spear.
Oh, 100%. Rhino's gore is great too. Great job, Turbs.
Turbs really gets it with that one. Thank you so much, Turbs. And we know the Snickers is in full effect right now.
Yeah.
We've got our Turbs back. We've got our Turbs back. We have to move on to a really terrible segment with Ricky Starks, where Ricky Starks no longer knows who he is. He's confused about what he's supposed to be doing. And he says, everything I do is absolute. You forgot why people liked you.
Yes.
They liked you because you were a specific type of asshole heel.
Yeah.
And now you're being something completely different than you were, and nobody cares.
His heel persona was him essentially winking at the audience and saying, like, I know I'm being an obnoxious heel and I'm really good at it and we're all having fun.
And I love it.
But now he's just like not having fun
anymore.
I'm
a baby face and I won't give it my all. And you're going to see what I've got. Ricky Starks has got it all.
All his character is gone. It's all gone.
It feels like a Dave Chappelle sketch.
Interesting.
I really do feel that way. Joe writes, I'm not a big fan of Kevin Owens stunner. I'm not either, actually.
No, I think it's supposed to kind of be. You're right. I just agree.
You know who has a good stunner?
Who?
Willie Mack.
Yeah, he does. He does have a good
Willie
stunner.
Mack has a good stunner. We get Ethan Page versus Bandito before next. And we get Ethan Page on the mic saying at Full Gear, he's going to become #1 contender and he's going to be the next world champ. And we get a match with him and Bandito, which I don't terribly care much about, even though I like All Ego Ethan Page, even though I hate the name All Ego. I think the name All Ego. I think Joe Redlitz made a comment when he was watching the show before. I'm not sure if he was, but I'm just assuming that he made a comment that All Ego just makes no sense. Like, why is someone calling themselves that? It just makes it's weird.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. My issue is with Bandito. You sign this guy to a big contract. His first match is against Roosh on Rampage. He gets about 1 or 2 moves in, sells, gets his ass kicked for 10 minutes, gets like a cheap distraction victory. And then in his second match, he loses. Just another guy.
Just another guy.
Honestly,
he picked the wrong company.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that necessarily, but because I mean, look, there's also only so much room in the WWE, and they'll make you feel like a big deal for the first couple of months, and then you'll get lost in the shuffle too. I mean,
they will try to find what you got. They will try to find what you got for the first couple of months. They didn't try here. They just threw him out there and hoping he sinks or swims. That's what AEW is, sinking or swimming. And if you don't do everything possible to get over in that first match, you're going to be less and less each time.
I would argue
if you don't have a perfect opening, you're going to be less and less.
He did have a perfect opening, though. He had a perfect opening against Chris Jericho before he got a contract. And there's not much more that you can do to get yourself over and get people excited about you.
Your first match being a loss is not a great opening.
Well, he won his first match, but I don't think they booked that well. That was bad booking. It was bad booking. So I don't know. And then he'll get lost and maybe he'll come back around. He'll probably find a tag team partner or he'll find a 6-man partner and they'll do something like that, which is whatever. It's fine.
Brooklyn Bleaks writes, Ricky Starks became the Kanye of AEW. I wouldn't say that. But he is definitely not doing good. Yeah. Brett says, I hope that Ricky Starks can get back to his old self after the pay-per-view storyline rotation is over. Do you think there's actually a real physical rotation? Because I don't think so. I think Ricky Starks has already lost the battle, unfortunately. And until because he's going to continue with this, and because this is behind Ricky. This is Ricky pushing forward for this. You could tell because he's passionate about it.
Yeah.
He wants to be this guy. He's into it.
Yeah.
He wants to be this, and if he doesn't see why this is bad, he's lost.
Yeah, and no one's gonna help him. He's on his
No,
own.
he has got too much competition on that level for
Yeah.
anyone to help him. Redley697 says, "Am I a part of the LLW Whack Pack?" Yes, you are, but we call it the internship.
Yeah,
You
you're
are
a member of the
you're
internship.
100% a part of the internship. Redley697. Are you in the Discord? We got to fix that.
Redley is not in the Discord.
Brooklyn Bleak says he didn't go to WWE because of him uprooting his roots to Florida, his family to Florida. Oh, that's fair.
Also
That's
makes
fair.
sense. Where are they?
That makes
Where
sense.
are they located? Are they in
Yeah,
Mexico? I think
where's
they're in
Bandito?
Mexico.
No kidding.
I think they're in
Brett
Mexico.
says if Bandito picked WWE, he'd be just another guy in NXT. Probably end up feuding or teaming with Axiom because hey, they both wear masks. I'm not disagreeing with that because that may happen. But at least they will try to get the best out of Bandito because Bandito isn't at his best. Like he has a lot more work to do to get to a great level. He is not a great wrestler. He has a lot of potential. And the thing is, he's not going to fulfill that potential in AEW where he's being booked like this. At least in AEW, he's going to get some reps in. They're going to try different things with him. They're going to move him in different places. They're going to figure stuff out, tell him what he's good at, what he's bad at. Nobody's telling him that here.
I'm not going to argue with you on this because I do disagree, but I am not going to argue with you on it.
Joe writes, Kane is the Kanye of WWE. That's fair.
Yes. Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
And life and the Kanye of life.
Yeah.
We can agree with that. We can agree. We got to move on, Roy, because we just talked about that. We get a Luchasaurus Jungle Boy promo. Honestly, I'm not unexcited about this match because I don't know why I want to watch this match, but I do. Do you?
Same. I do too. Yeah, I want to watch the match also.
I want to see what happens, and I want to see if there's any progression in the story.
Right.
Because it has stalled, right?
Well, yeah, because they're waiting for Christian to get healthy. They don't know what to do. What a weird thing.
He's got triceps injury. It's a while.
Yeah. So after Luchasaurus loses to Jungle Boy in this cage match, and that puts an end to them feuding with each other, then fucking what? There's nothing else.
What? Where does Jungle Boy go?
Right.
Where does Christian go? I don't know. Brett says, I bet Bandito gonna have his big shine whenever Ring of Honor gets a show, if they ever do.
Possible.
That's the key part. If they ever do. Because the thing is, like, you're hoping that he gets his shine whenever Ring of Honor gets to start. They've had the company for almost a year. What is it?
I feel like there's something
March?
coming soon.
February,
there's something coming soon.
Okay, but even so, we'll hope.
We'll
Joe writes, am I in the internship program? If so, can someone help me get the stranger out of my basement? Odd guy talking crazy talk down there. That's your own problem.
Yeah, Joe. Look, we solve very simple,
very
difficult issues.
Yeah, Roy, what would you do in this situation? What would you do?
What would I do if there was a strange man in my basement talking?
Call the police.
Oh yeah, I'd just lock the door and hope that he gets sleepy.
I'd burn the house down.
I'd take my family out.
Burn the whole house down because you can't trust that there aren't more people in the walls.
True.
Ceiling.
It's a good point.
The closets.
If there's one, there's many.
Feels like it's every week. I think you're talking about something else, Brett. Brett writes, if Ring of Honor gets a show, then this guy will shine. But will Ring of Honor ever actually get a show? We already talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a follow-up thought.
Brett writes, Ring of Honor acquisition has put a bigger wrench in AEW progression than the Brawl Out.
That's not true.
I think that the Ring of Honor has set AEW back further than the Brawl Out. Yeah.
I think I would assume that Tony Khan probably thought he would get weekly television quicker than they are.
But they should then have a plan before you start putting people on.
Yeah. Also, you know what? It's okay to let the brand
reset,
go into like hibernation for a while.
Mm-hmm. Bring in the people if you want, but don't bring them in with the titles.
And then also,
because there's no show.
Let the company go into hibernation, and while it's in hibernation, use your YouTube channel to run like classic Ring of Honor matches, classic Ring of Honor matches, shows, etc.
Brooklyn Bleak says, did you ever watch that Women of Wrestling show? How was it? I have not watched it.
I don't know where to watch it. I still don't know where to watch it.
We have to watch that. Hassan writes, on Full Gear predictions on tomorrow night. We'll give predictions at the review. We'll review it at the prediction. We have to get on. Renee is with Soraya. Renee is with Soraya, and Soraya keeps it short and sweet. Soraya says she feels great. She was told she'd never come back. She is. She came to AEW because she wants the best, and she wants you, Brett. You're the best. So Here we go into Full Gear. I'm excited for this match.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Not,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And not because of how they booked it at all. That promo last week was the only thing that got me excited for this match.
Right. Yes. I forgot
everything
about everything
before
else.
Was garbage. And this is the only thing. Next we get up Anna Jay versus Toni Storm, right?
What's this doing to build up the title match at the pay-per-view?
And what's up with the interim title? We don't have no idea when Rose is coming back. What is the point of this? It's gotten too much. Like, what did you promise Thunder Rosa, Tony Khan, before she left? That you're just holding the title for her for an uncalculable, unrelated amount of time. It better, at Full Gear, there better be something with Thunder Rosa coming back.
Yeah.
Because how long are we going to do this?
Right. Agreed.
And honestly, Anna Jay is not ready for this position.
No, and this just doesn't make any sense. Again, like, I would rather see a promo. I'd rather see a tag match. I'd rather see something rather than just another fucking match. Like, we don't know what to do with the women to build up their match at the pay-per-view. Oh, just put another fucking match up there. Just put Toni Storm against anybody. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It was supposed to be the bunny, and then it became Anna Jay, which is just like, it's not good. It's not
they
good.
Just don't. They really, and Anna Jay, honestly, like, she's starting to get a little bit more personality, but like, honestly, she telegraphs everything.
Yeah,
like I know every single time she's about to get hit. I know every time she's about to take a move, she moves her entire body every single time. She's athletic, but she needs fine tuning because she's not there.
Yeah,
she's not there.
She needs to wrestle house shows.
And right after Toni Storm runs, Hayter comes out, runs right up to her, and they just talk. They just talk, and she holds up the belt. I hated that.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Just stand up at the ramp. Just be taunting up there. You run out to the ring and you go up to her and don't do anything. You look like a chump.
Well, Toni Storm looks like a chump too for not doing anything. They all look like chumps. Yeah,
they all look like chumps. We're at the main event of the evening, right? Is this where you fell asleep?
I fell asleep 2-3 seconds ago.
Just now on the podcast. Roy fell asleep for the main event, which was a talking segment.
I fell asleep after the Bandito Ethan Page match. I played tennis this afternoon. It's very cold outside. I got sleepy. I ate too much food. And
if anyone gives Roy any shit, I'm gonna be very upset.
They're all gonna give me shit.
We'll see.
Which is fair. You should.
Before we get to that, we just have to talk real quick. Brooklyn Bleak says yes, like Impact puts on old pay-per-views on YouTube. They do. Joe writes, hot take. They should have just announced a Ring of Honor and AEW TV until they had a TV deal. Just feels like nothing promotion. Grasping on another for TV time. Yeah, it's just bad. We all agree. Hassan writes, thanks again, guys. Hey, thanks, Hassan. Joe writes, kind of the Impact in the Forbidden Door era. Kind of like Impact in the Forbidden Door era. I'm getting confused, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay. Sorry.
Brooklyn Blake says, damn, by the way, what the hell happened to Mercedes Martinez and the Ring of Honor women's title?
Also a really good point.
Great point, Brooklyn Blake. Good point. Brett says, my perfect women's championship booking for the pay-per-view is word from Rosa that she is officially dropping the title to Storm. Storm retains on the show, and then Sasha Banks debuts as her new next challenger.
Who said that?
Turbs.
All right, Terps. All right.
Do you think there's any validity to that, right?
No.
Mercedes Martinez has just trademarked a bunch of Mercedes-ish names.
Smart.
We don't know. Joe writes, MJF's run was the new finger point of doom. Seriously, that did too much damage to MJF in my eyes. Good thing he saved himself with the promo afterwards. Let's talk about this because you missed something really interesting.
Yeah, I did.
So we got Jon Moxley comes out.
I will say I woke up and Moxley was on the ground for some reason.
Jon Moxley comes out with Regal, and he says that he talks shit and he backs it up. He's basically defined the AEW World Championship. True. And he gives like a fiery little promo, and he's just like, and it's because I'm sick in the head. I'm addicted to this stuff. And he's like, I've done some research on you, MJF, and want to what? All I could find is that you're a good singer. But also, you have one win in the past 6 months against my young boy, basically ripping apart Yuta.
He's a young boy. He's inexperienced. He's new to the business.
That's kind of fucked. I don't know. Just makes him look like a shit. Then he's just like, then you went on a summer vacay, and he's just like, you had the worst ladder match ending ever with the whole money, the ladder thing. And then he's like, you look like a kid playing wrestler. Okay. Not bad. Good stuff. Moxley does a good
Classic
job.
Moxley.
Then Stokely walks out. Stokely walks out fairly fast, and all of a sudden Lee Moriarty starts attacking Jon Moxley. But Jon Moxley immediately beats the shit out of him before anyone else comes down. Then they all awkwardly start coming in, and then they gang up on him. And they start to clear other than they start beating up, and then they even go after Regal. They corner Regal in the corner, and Regal starts biting them, and like legit biting them. They're like holding back. He's just like, you better make it look real because I'm gonna bite. He starts like biting at them. Then MJF comes out. Huge pop, runs out, comes to the ring steps, and starts fighting them off like a classic babyface, like punch, like giving these very exaggerated, cartoonish looking, like I'm a hero. Comes into the ring, beats them all up, and then gets in their face and cuts a babyface promo.
On who?
On Jon Moxley.
Okay.
Saying, I am going to win this, and I'm going to say I saved you because I want you to have no excuse because you're going to get my best and you're going to get all these things. It's like, I need that belt and it's my time. And he said, you said that the devil, like, I'm not the devil. Well, the greatest trick that the devil ever played was telling you that he didn't exist.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be there this time, Moxley. And then he's like, Moxley grabs the mic from him. He's like, Saturday, the training wheels come off.
Yeah.
And that's the end. They stare down.
He says, what does he say? He says Sunday. And then he said, wait, is the pay-per-view on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. Which it's just that
he's a babyface.
This is exactly what MJF should not be doing because the audience, listen to the audience. They were booing.
I'll go back and I'll watch it. I don't believe you though.
When you do, there's cheers, but there's audible boos, just like, oh no, like felt like that. It felt like people were just screaming no. I don't know how everyone else felt about it. I felt it was so bad. It was the worst MJF segment I've ever seen.
Who put in the comments that this changed MJF for them?
Joe. I'm assuming Joe agrees because he must have seen that segment as well. And we got a lot of comments to go through. My perfect women's championship with baby. Oh, we already did that. AEW's division. MJF's run. Joe writes, for those that didn't see MJF's run, and was basically like every face Hogan run in ever. It felt like that. Brett writes, MJF said he saved Mox, so Mox's pissant Mark fans have no excuse on Saturday. Lol. Quote of the night. I didn't hear any boos. It was just quiet. It was quiet, but there were boos. Now, before, like during the speech, listen to it again. You could hear boos. And honestly, the only thing I could say is, what I hope is that this is all the work. This is the work where he's like, I paid the firm to put you at ease. Like, I don't want them there. And reality, because it looked phony. Yeah. It looked bad. It looked like a bad comeback. It looked like a baby face, like, here I am, fired up. And like, it just acted like, and like never, it didn't act like MJF once. This was a segment where MJF did not act like MJF in any way. Very Ricky Starks like. He did get some fire in the promo because he's a great performer. And he did like kind of bring them back a little bit. But like, I felt like the promo was saved that action that looked terrible just moments before.
Okay. Well, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
You have to watch it.
I gotta watch it.
And then Joe writes, quiet is so much worse than booze. And then Brett writes, agreed. You have to watch it.
Let's all relax. Okay. Let's all.
Yeah, I think you're gonna change your tune.
All calm
I think
down.
You're gonna change your tune.
So I'll take a
I
chill
think your
pill.
tune's gonna be like, you're going boop boop boop, and then you're gonna be going beep beep beep. Changing the tune. Changing the tune. Any other thoughts on this night, Roy, before you go back into hibernation?
No, I'm excited to go back into hibernation. I'm excited to watch the segment again and feel the opposite of what you feel about it. Hopefully. But we'll see. I'm excited for this show. I think it's going to be a fun show.
I'm very excited for the show because honestly, it's always a well-booked card. It's always a well-booked card. It's always a fun show. Terrible build-up. Unless it's involving MJF or Punk, except for this time with MJF, which seems like they literally took a shit on the wheel.
They did a good job.
Honestly, one of this feels like if you ever
best job
with someone
Excellent job.
You ever been on a road trip with someone and we've been driving for 6 hours and the person driving just shit their pants and they're so distracted, they're just like, I need to stop the car, and they're lifting their butt off the seat and they're kind of swerving because they're driving with their butt off the seat, but they're still pressing the gas. This is what the MGF program feels like right now. Someone took a shit at the wheel and now they're driving with their butt up. Almost like they're Mayor Glenn Jacobs sitting in a car while they was waiting for a next show because he's got the furry butt plug.
I've only been on a road trip with someone where the steering wheel just flies off. The steering wheel just flew off. Steering wheel.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's just a fly off. I don't.
With the steering wheel just a fly off. I don't want to call. Bless you. That's a good way of going about it, right? We got Joe writes, yes, have the firm run in fake and be fake and paid by MJF would be so great and on point for the character. I hope that's the case. Brett writes, everyone's fantasy booking Regal turning on Mox the pay-per-view. I think that could save the face promo cut. 2 dashing villains. I would love that as well. That's a good point, Turbs. You have to see this. Even Turbs is agreeing.
That's a good idea.
This was a shitty.
That's a good idea.
Brett writes, imagine Regal turns on Mox to help MJF, and then MJF turns on Regal immediately after the Ultimate Trust. No one heel turn move. Yeah,
I just think you can't go backwards now. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Hey, sorry. You can't go backwards with MJF. You can't. You can't do this thing where he's already getting massive cheers. And then if he does this thing with the firm, he's just going to get even bigger cheers. He's going to be a baby face. The crowd is going to cheer him. They like him too much.
No, I don't want to stop them from cheering them. I want them to keep cheering him. If they treat him like this, it's going to cause boos. He's going to start being like Ricky Starks. I could smell it in the air. If Regal turns with him, he'll get more cheers.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be the ultimate, and then have him face heels.
And then Moxley needs to just go away.
Moxley needs a break.
Moxley needs to just go
He's been looking for a break. Let him have a break.
Let him
be with his kid, his family.
Until like January.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Regal is going to turn. And it's going to implode because I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We got Brett saying MJF would be a real trust buster then. Oh, because he's breaking up the trust. That's a trust. Just like Teddy Roosevelt.
Just like Teddy Roosevelt
trust busted the companies so that they weren't so powerful. And that's a powerful group.
We need another Teddy Roosevelt out there. Somebody needs to bust Ticketmaster.
Except for his feelings and eugenics. We have to change that part.
Sure.
Joe writes, maybe Trump's run-ins in WWE were better. Maybe Trump's run-ins in WWE.
Joe, let's all take it easy here. Let's all relax, okay?
This was a bad run-in. This was a bad run-in, Roy. Woodsy the Beast says, if MJF is the worst part of the show, something is seriously wrong. Woodsy the Beast is here.
Woodsy's been here for a while.
Woodsy, you haven't been talking. I got confused. Thank you so much, Woodsy. Hassan writes, yes, it was a fun show for that. I agree, Hassan. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Brett writes, MJF face run needs to be like Stone Cold, a chaotic neutral with an I don't give a fuck attitude. Yes,
agreed. And I think we're still going to get that. Let's all take it. I haven't seen the segment, but let's all take it easy.
This was John Cena face turn. This is John Cena face turn.
Well, yeah, he's been talking about John Cena in recent promos, recent interviews. I don't like it.
It felt like it. That's the show, Roy.
That's the show. We did it.
That's the show. We did it.
Yeah. What?
There's no doubt that we did it, right?
On our part. Yeah, we did it.
Honestly, you came through clutch because I've had accidents before.
I don't know if I told you this. I almost fell asleep through the show.
I don't know if I could tell you this, but like I've pooped myself 3 times in my adult life, and all 3 times I went home and took a shower. I didn't complete what I was doing. Roy, you pooped the bed tonight. And you, with your poopy pants, came to the show. You pooped the bed, and you came in.
I didn't.
And you came into the show, and you just fucking nailed it. Everyone give a honk for Roy for pooping his pants in the middle of the show.
I didn't poop my pants.
Well, right after the Ollie Go Ethan Page and Bandito match, you said you pooped your pants. And so, like, isn't it like honestly, 100%? Give a honk for Roy in the chat for Roy pooping in pants and not changing. Poop in his pants, completed the entire LLW show, sitting in his own feces, and he's split. Give it for Roy. Hassan writes, yes, it was a fun show for that. We already talked about that. Joe writes 100% Brett. Brett writes LL Dub, LL Dub, LL Dub. Brett says, sorry for being an a-hole, guys. I'm now babyface because of the Snickers, right?
Yeah, because of the Snickers.
Thank you, Snickers.
Yeah, the real heel is Red, spreading false rumors about me pooping myself.
We'll see if the audience picks up on that. Brett writes, for the good of the multiverse, because it would have shattered with Turbs having an LLW tattoo constantly. It's he's basically like the Harlequin of our universe.
Yes,
where like both good and bad, depending on the take. And then Woodsy says MJF needs run like Brock more than Austin. No.
Which version of Brock?
The Rock more than Austin.
The Rock. Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll have to think about that. And Joe writes, Honk Honk Roy, if crapping your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Love it.
That's
nice
beautiful.
Billy
beautiful.
Madison reference. Good way to go.
Everyone
out.
have a great night. We had a great night.
Yeah.
Have a great one, everyone. See you on Saturday.
Sunday.
For the review.
Ole.